Serious pens here.
Oh, they're beautiful. They really are. They're beautiful pens.
So tell me, Paul, you've been buying collections since what, 1985, when and where you can?
Yes.
How does this stack up?
Oh, this is, I mean, I guess I would say if you ever, if I combine the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 times I ever bought pens, it might be something to consider, but this is just unbelievable. And the other thing is it was just really, it was just a very pleasant experience. It really was. It was very nice.
Well, the owner really had quite a history, and was quite a decent man. We had about 2 hours of conversation mixed in with 4 hours of intense pen evaluation. While,
very interesting, man.
I'm
just kind of curious to see what the heck this thing is.
It's a Krone.
Yeah, but it's pretty. I like the other one a little, but I think, oh, that's pretty too, though.
I told you.
You know, I never really see these things because I don't look at that many modern pens, but this thing is beautiful.
I think if we're going to do a little show and tell here, what we'll do is we'll put out table by themes. Let me go grab the Italian pens, and we'll go from there.
Well,
yeah? We're back. We pulled a few pens for the table, which we'll show in a moment. I suppose I should say a few more than a few. What would you say the overall highlight of this collection was? Not necessarily the best pen, but just the theme or source. So I think we've got it.
well, I mean, it's, you know, I'll be honest. Having going out and trying to buy a collection of pens really isn't for everybody. I mean, it can be difficult. I mean, you really have to really strike a fair balance for the buyer and for the seller. And you know, sometimes if people find a collection of pens, they get out there. Sometimes they could you can easily get in over your head on some of this stuff. So you know, that's an interesting thing. Frankly, as far as this particular trip goes, I can't remember having more fun in a long time as far as pens go.
We worked with a nice
fellow. It was a
we worked
pleasure.
With a nice guy who understood the pens, had a long history.
That was great.
Interesting life.
That was really.
And he understood the interaction. We went out prepared to put our money where our mouth was, and we spent a lot to buy a nice collection. But it was done in a very positive win-win fashion, I think. What we have out now, the table has about 30 or 35 pens on it. This is about half of the Italian make pens. We have Omas, Aurora, Delta.
This is really very pretty.
Marlin, others. I'll bring the camera over because you want to see pens, and we can talk about a couple of these. Paul knows a bit more on the moderns than I do. I'm not even sure we know what all these are.
Well, you know, a lot of these pens go back from, I would say, the you know, the late '80s through the '90s, and that was kind of like the, I would say, you know, as far as it was my era, and I can, you know, I can relate to a lot of these pens.
Let's see
some of these pens I've never even really.
Well, you know, I bought a closeout of Visconti's little Viscontina some years ago, but there were none of the red pens in there. I actually think the red Viscontina is a remarkably pretty item. I'm not sure the light is letting it capture well here.
Is that red?
That's yeah, red striped.
Yeah, you can't really
celluloid.
see it. I see it. Okay.
We have oodles of Omas. I don't even know. I mean, these all have the kind of typical Arco look. Some are in unusual colors. Some are in vegetal resin. You
well,
know
this is a Krone. Now, you know, usually I'll see a Krone and I'll look in a magazine and everything.
Hold it up.
And you know, I look at it and I just don't really get that much of a feel for it. Now, this is the first time.
Let me see the cap.
This thing is really gorgeous. This is the first time I really picked up a Krone, because it's not my cup of tea normally. But I find this pen to be very interesting. The color combinations are gorgeous. They're just very appealing. And you have vertical stripes on the cap, and you have horizontal stripes, different colors on the barrel, and you have a beautiful sterling silver cap band and an unusual Omas style pocket clip. This was from the Tokyo collection. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but that was, I would say, late '80s when that pen came out. It was a very industrial looking pen. And I mean, the pens are gorgeous. They're
some of these Ancora Perlas. I think these are limited edition or special edition. They're not the typicals.
Yep. But I'm really, you know,
You like
here's
that
one that
chrome?
really, well, because I would have never looked at this pen before. And here's
Well, that's what happens when one buys collections. I
no,
mean, you
but
end
I'm
up with
just
a couple
saying it's a
hundred
very
pens.
unusual,
It is.
beautiful pen, and it's got that Italian styling that is, I would say, unique.
I have
in
to
this
say,
sense.
I have a certain fondness for Signum pens. Back when Steve and Marianne first brought these to the USA, I did some photography and shot a bunch of them. And these just bring back nice memories of the people and of the brand. Here's a Signum in some sort of a
Well, I remember
lizard skin or
being
bird
at the
skin.
New York show
Let's
when
see if I can find- there we go.
When Marianne brought these out,
yeah.
and Steve.
I think I was there.
Yeah, I think you were. And
So we have Signum for an Italian brand.
right.
We have a number of nice Viscontis. Most of the Viscontis are not limited editions.
Now, who's this for anyway? This video, is this going on like YouTube or something?
I would imagine so. We'll share it with fellow
Oh,
collectors
here,
who like
let
to see
me,
pens. This is Paul Erano.
Yeah.
He didn't know why we were shooting a video today.
By the way, if now here's another really. I mean, I've seen geez, this is terrible. The Signum pens before, but this is a perfect example of
gorgeous.
of actually holding a pen in your hand and getting a sense of the quality versus just seeing a picture of it.
I don't even know what this one is.
And that's a really funky.
A Natuna Barracuda.
Yep, it's
now,
really,
now look at
really
this.
funky.
This is not.
That's not the case.
This
that's
is not
the
a
pen.
case for the pen. Yeah, this is the whole pen.
This
It's
is
a
a pen.
clear.
Talk about Italian, huh? Talk about modern styling. Look at this. Maybe it's
Pop,
postmodern
I think it's
styling.
no. I think it's magnetically
Oh
closed.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
pop it
yeah.
out.
But I mean, the clip has to open up somehow. There, it's on the.
I think it opens up when you open it. No,
No, look. This is a clip. Somehow that has to get into your pocket.
that's a neat
I think
pen.
this is
I don't know what it is.
funky. I've got to look into this a little more.
Now keep in mind.
Look at it. Oh, it's a demonstrator. See, you
Right,
can see
right.
through it.
I figured it was a small
Right.
D
Watch
demonstrator.
this. Watch this.
Yeah, I'm watching. Snap. Now keep in mind, this is about half of the Italian pens. I'll put the others out in a bit. We have another crone hiding over here.
Oh, this is cool.
Where did you
I
get
really
the other
like this.
crone? Where is it?
There's
Oh,
a-
there it is. Now look at
Oh
this.
yeah, this is pretty. I
Aurora.
just like that other one.
An Aurora demonstrator
Oh, look at this
in the
chrome.
box.
Yeah.
I'm told the demonstrators aren't so easy to find. Here's an Aurora. I think it's an Optima Seasons pen, the Mare. We have a number of nice Viscontis. Oh, look, another solid color Omas. This is called the Goya.
Was this in plastic? Yeah.
It might have been.
I mean, these pens
Oh.
are really just about mint.
Now, Omas 360s are nice. Well, there are mint. Omas
Yeah.
360s are nice. I've never actually owned one. This one, though, is not a solid color.
It's the celluloid.
This is celluloid, and I'll tell you, this is a beautiful celluloid. It evokes the wall Burma from the 1930s a little bit. Beautiful, subtle,
Beautiful.
understated color. And as we move on, a Delta Profili, and I don't even know what that is, Paul. A Sterling Delta? It's got to be a decent pen.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what these things were when we bought them, I hope, because I have no idea.
Well, this, this one, for example,
The green
the Omas
Omas?
was made to commemorate, I think, when the Italians won the World Cup, I think 1990. And it's commemorative Omas. Very pretty.
A lot
It's
of
green
these,
resin.
our collector, the fellow who sold us these pens, was collecting since probably the mid '80s, and he bought a lot of
Some of these pens go back
overlay,
to the
or
80s,
a
yeah.
lot of Omas from the '80s. Not so easy to find today. Omas T2 titanium. It looks like an Arco, but it's not quite.
Well, that
ES,
Natuno
EE
Skipper, you
Ercolisi.
hardly ever see that pen.
We'll get there. Now this Ercolisi, this was made for a store by Omas. Is that what you said, or a commemorative or something?
Ercolisi, right, was a big store owner who had Omas make pens for them.
Okay, we have
So that's a big pen.
Natuno Skipper. Oh, an Omas Galileo, one I actually liked early on in my collecting but never bought. This is sometimes called the cow pen. It's a beautiful black and white.
Cow
Oh,
pen?
Oh, it's black and white like a cow. Oh, it slides open. I'm not going to
Like
fight with
flip,
it. It's too
black
stuck.
and white like a cow.
Yeah.
Here, let me watch.
Another Omas Expo 98. I suppose this is some sort of special or
It's
limited
gorgeous.
edition. Beautiful royal blue.
Which one is it?
It has a different cap band from
That's
the
not
usual
going any
Omas.
place. Yeah. With the lens.
Not sure we're quite focusing on it. I could try to hit the macro, but we won't for now. Here's a solid wood Omas.
That is